G'day, welcome to another episode of Country Life on the Coast. My name is Sean. On today's episode, we are going to build some shelving and a workbench for my shed. Previously I did an episode where we did some organisation and just used what I had. Today we're going to go sort of next level and build some proper shelving, remove some of this stuff that we've already got and just make spaces for everything so that I have a good location and a lot more storage than what we've got at the moment. So the first thing we need to do is move all this stuff out, pull down the shelving, remove the timbers off the back wall, that sort of thing. So let's get into it. Alright, well, we've got this area all cleaned up now. It's looking so much better than it did before, but everywhere else now looks like an absolute mess. So we have to get on and build our shelving now and workbench. So let me show you what timber we've picked up. So I've picked up all of this timber, and this bit, all of this stuff here, I've actually had this for probably a couple of years now, sitting underneath the house. It was free, so that was fantastic. And this pile of timber here, I picked this up just the other day, cost me $30, and all of this timber is actually old bed frame timber, or it's just old bed slats. So for this sort of job, this sort of timber is ideal for it. So rather than go out and spend a fortune on timber, because it is really expensive, well, this is one way of doing it on the cheap. So these timbers here, these are all 1500 long. They're all 90 by 35, I think it was. These are the same size, except they're 1.8 meters long. So I'm going to use these as sort of my uprights, and then everything else for the shelves I'm going to use those. And I did go and buy some yellow tongue flooring that I'm actually going to use for the shelving of it. So I've got my miter saw set up. I'm undercover today because it keeps looking like it's going to rain on us. We'll see how we go. If you're doing something like this, always think ahead. Don't be like me and start moving everything and then realize, oh, I'm going to use that today, I need it. And it was hidden behind all the other stuff that I was moving. So I just made it really hard for myself to get that out. But anyway, we've got it out now. The only downside of using this sort of timber, which had, which was bed slats, has a heap of staples in all through them. So I'm just going to run through now and just try and pull out as much of this as I can. There's some of this material that used to, I think, attach them all and sort of tie them all together. So we'll just try and clean this up much before we start, sawing any of it, just because I don't want to cut them. It's not good for your saw blades. So let's get that out first as well. So this is the shelving unit we're going to make. I'm going to make it 1500 across here, about a meter up, and this will be my workbench. And then we're just going to have these other cubicles. Basically, I have things that I'm going to be putting in each one of these. It's going to be a total of 1800 high because that's that timber length I've got. And basically what I'm going to do is just build these boxes first and just put some extra supports in, and then the sheeting will go on top. And then right at the top, exactly the same sort of thing. Each one of these will be a box. And then we'll just screw them all together and put our sheeting on. And then what I did is, online, there's a program called this OptiCutter. It's just opticutter.com. And this program, what it does is it gives you all the best cuts to do to reduce the amount of waste. So now I can just work through this. So I just need 21 lengths of my 1500 stock, and I'll use that program. So we have all our timber cut to size, and I'm going to start building all these boxes here on the bench. And what we're going to do, this sort of the idea, what we're going to have, I'll evenly space these out, put some marks on in a moment, but once we go inside and we start constructing it, these will be the uprights that will go in. So let's mark this out and we'll start screwing all this together. This is the first part of it anyway, so we just need to extend, put the other parts along here, but this is the frame. This is basically what we're doing, but it's certainly very solid. So I'm just using these bugle head screws everywhere, going to be nice and strong. This is a really good height for me. So now we just need to continue that a few more times. It's a new day, we're back at it. We've finished the frame now, so let's have a look at it. So as you can see, I've got all of this shelving here. I think I said before, that's going to be my bench up that end. All of this is all specifically designed for certain things, so I had to make it to suit. And then, yeah, nice long shelf at the top. So from the front of this post to the back post, it's 780 millimeters deep, and for me that should be perfect. It'll certainly fit everything I need to fit in here. So next step is we need to cut some bench tops for it. So let's go out and I'll show you what we've got for that. Well, what I'm using for my bench top is yellow tongue flooring. This is 19 millimeters thick. It's a 1800 by 800 millimeter panel. Now these panels, actually you can get these sheets in 3.6 meters long as well, and if you keep your eye out, I actually saw a few the other day that I probably should have grabbed to line the shed, but wasn't thinking of that at the time. And you can buy them, I've seen them for $25 a sheet, so fairly affordable. Brand new. I think the 3.6 meter long sheets, they're still 800 wide. I think they were about $51, around that price I think it was, I saw the other day. So what I'm going to do, so called yellow tongue flooring because normally it's used in construction for a flooring system, and they all just lock together like that. So I'm going to grab a pair of pliers and I'll pull this yellow tongue, or the yellow, out of it, just so that I can then just trim off about 20 millimeters off that, just to make it fit a bit easier, and also to remove the groove that's in here, because I don't really need that at the front, so I'll cut that, and that will be the front of my workbench and the shelving. A little bit of trial and error, but we got there. Now to continue on. I've got some of these off-cut pieces that I'm going to use around, so I'll put that one up the back there just to stop anything going off the back. I don't have anything quite long enough for that side, but we'll be able to attach that on that side. So this one will at least be able to stop anything falling off the side there. I can still access all my PowerPoints and things. And this one here, just trimmed it down, and I'm hoping it will fit in there. So I'll just screw that in as well. And then I've still got a piece down there that I need to decide what I'm going to do with as well. But I'll look at how big that actually is and work that out in a moment. So now that we've got that attached, I've cut these two boards. I've actually rejoined them with the yellow tongue in there. It'll just give them a bit more strength. And what I'm going to do is attach a couple of boards up here. So attach those, and then we'll be able to attach that to it. I'm just going to have to put a screw in on an angle to hold that one down in a couple places. And that one I might be able to just attach it to the metal at the back. Have a look at that. And then what we'll be able to do is have all that standing, and this one I'm going to screw at the end here, and that'll just sort of enclose that whole area, and I'll have a small gap here that sort of running out of bits and pieces at the moment, so I think we'll just leave that bit. That won't be a big problem. So I've put I had an old fluoro, so I've been able to put that up there. It had a lead on it, so I can just plug it in and turn it on, and I've got my own light here all the time for my main workbench, which I'm really happy about. So now I just need to bring everything back in, start loading it up, see how much space we really have in a moment. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's really strong, and hopefully it'll last for many years. There we go. We've restocked everything, brought everything back in, and it's filled up pretty quickly, which I expected it to do. It's a lot more accessible now. Some of these tools that I've had actually sitting over there on the ground, I now at least have access to them, and I've got somewhere easy to store them. In case you don't know, every time I use these, I actually use them outside on my workbench that I built ages ago. And so I just need somewhere to store it. I'm really happy with what I've got so far. I already have some ideas of ways that I might be able to improve it further, but for the time being, I'm just going to use it like this for a while, see how it goes, and then make some changes maybe in the future. Hope you might have found this interesting and helpful if you're looking at building something yourself. Overall, this was quite a cheap, easy way to do it. Took a fair bit of time though, but it is what it is. I've got a huge amount of shelving now, so that's really good. But that's all we've got for this episode. I'm packed up. I'm ready to go have something to eat now. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please consider subscribing. That'd be fantastic. And we'll catch you on the next one. God bless.